Hi everyone, welcome to my show. Today we're going to be talking about Schutzhund. What's Schutzhund? It's a German sport, a dog German sport that has tracking, obedience, and protection. But it's a very interesting and awesome sport. And today I have a very, very good friend of mine. His name is Ted Hartman. He's not only a judge in DVG Schutzhund, but he's also the training director, the national training director for DVG. So give a big welcome to Ted Hartman. Come on, Ted. Come on.
Hey,
how you doing?
Good.
What's happening?
Long time.
Long time. Down, down, down. It's been a few years, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we started with Ted like about 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 20 years ago, he had this little buck Doberman, and he was a big-time rocker, and we used to call him Hollywood. And to hang out with Albanuelos and the whole gang and just go out and train. It was such a fun time, you know. It's like, and from then on, this guy's come such a long way. He's a judge. He's a DVG judge. You know, it's like that. Those were the guys we used to look back then and say, hey, you know, Leo, all these guys, you know. But that's what these guys now. So what's up, Ted? Tell me about a little bit what you've been doing for the past couple of years, few years.
Oh, phew. Since I guess in the last 20 years, since I've been real active in the sport, as you know, I own West Coast Canine Academy. It's a premier dog training facility in Southern California. I have West Coast, which is a USCA organization, and also Coast Schutzhund clubs, which are DVG organization. For the last 20 years, our DVG club's the biggest one in the country, over 50 members and very active. And then I also became the regional training director for DVG America for the last 10 years, and now most recently I'm the national training director for America. So within those capacity, I train helpers, do seminars, do workshops, I certify the helpers, and then I also select the helpers for our championships and the regional championships and national championships here in America. So that's kind of what I've been up to.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing is that most of the people out there, they don't even know what the heck Schutzhund is. I mean, you say Schutzhund and it's like, I mean, first of all, they changed the switch. They switched the name, right?
Yeah.
What was it all about?
Yeah, so Schutzhund Sport, now it's called IPO Sport, but Schutzhund Sport originally was brought up in Germany about 120 years ago, initially to test the dogs for police dogs in Germany and also for the military dogs in Germany, and that was the big test for them for years and years, and it's kind of developed since then to become the premier breed survey for the German Shepherds internationally, across the world, and then even foremost now has become a really stylized sport. You know what I mean? So now it's away from protection dogs necessarily, and really become sport dogs, and it's probably the most visible sport in the world, especially in Germany. It's one of the biggest. It's all over the country. It's soccer and Schutzhund, or IPO in Germany, and so that's what everybody's been doing, and it's really become a very stylized sport since then.
Right. Yeah, I know that before it was Schutzhund, which means protection dog.
Yeah.
But I know there was a little bit of controversy about putting that into the name, and they changed it to. I would never try to pronounce what is it called.
It was VPG for a little while in Germany, but which is German, basically means obedience under control or something like that in German. But
yeah,
it's
like a long ass name.
And then
he has what I remember is for VD. H, right? What is VDH? You know, like a dog with VD or something like that. That's what I remember. The
German Organization of Dog Sport, Verband,
Exactly. And there's a few organizations in the United States, right?
Yeah, there's a couple. The premier ones are like I said, USCA is United Schutzhund Clubs of America, is premier United States organization, and then DVG America is we're basically a region of Germany, and so that's the dog sport, which is dog sport organization from Germany, which is the biggest in the world by far and the most advanced. And we got, I think it's like 30 some odd years now, we've been a region of DVG. We're the only region outside of Germany, so DVG America is very special that we're actually a region of German dog sport.
Right, yeah. And this started with the German Shepherds, and now I see that they have a lot of different breeds, right?
Yeah, exactly. Started back with the tests for the German Shepherds and all that. Now it's all of the working breeds across the board.
Yeah. Is the USA still mainly Shepherds, or there's
USCA? Yes, it's mainly a German Shepherd organization. They do at lower levels allow other breeds to compete, but their national championships are only German Shepherds.
Right.
So there's also AWDF, American Working Dog Federation in America. That's another all-breed organization in America besides DVG that does all-breed Schutzhund. Yeah.
So it was mainly the sport was made to test their ability, their training ability, their sense of smell, agility, how they were good for training.
Yeah, training ability and everything else. Yeah, it's really like now, like I said, became the premier breed test. It's part of the breed survey for the German Shepherds. They do the conformation side of it as well, and then they also do the working side of it. And this is the working side of it, and it tests. Schutzhund's a 3-phase sport, 100 points per phase. Mainly, it's all about the obedience in all of these phases, but there's tracking, obedience, and protection, and in all 3 of these phases, multiple exercises, very stylized with critique, of different categories and different points for these different phases.
Yeah. I mean, what I didn't really love about Schutzhund, what I fell in love with Schutzhund, I started doing it in 1988, I think it was.
I remember.
And what I really loved about the sport is they give me a lot of discipline in my training.
Yep.
It shows today what I do in training that is nothing but discipline, consistency, repetition, and try to make the best out of what you can do,
Yep.
So that's what I love about the sport. There's a lot of sports out there that they have a lot of different ideas of, they don't like Schutzhund, that they don't like this, and blah, blah, blah. But realistically, Schutzhund is such a precise sport that it really takes a lot of commitment, a lot of patience, and it's like you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go track in a Camarillo that is 3 hours away. Then you get there, then you don't find a track and field. Then you have to go to traffic, or you track for 10 minutes and then you head back.
Yeah, definitely on the high end, especially it's becoming more so in America. But in Germany, it's a lifestyle. It's like you do soccer, you do Schutzhund, you do one of these sports. But it's every day for years and years and years and years, and that's the thing. It's like golf or something to master. It's impossible. It's really, really hard sport to put everything together, train these dogs for years and years and years to make these titles, and then go to championships, especially, and make there's regional championships, world championships, and international championships, and to make these on at that level is just it's really amazing sport.
Yeah, awesome.
By far the biggest discipline sport for dog sport in the world.
So
sure.
Tell me just very quickly about the obedience phase. What are they supposed to be doing in obedience?
Within there's multiple exercises that they do. I can break them all down for you, but basically it's at lower level on and off leash obedience. But then later it's all off leash. Everything in Schutzhund IPO is done completely off leash. But there's motion exercises, sit down, stand, running motion exercises, recalls and finishes. Retrieve work with a dumbbell, which is on the flat over a jump and over an A-frame. And then there's some other disciplines like sendaways, which you have to send the dog in a direction, you have to go all the way out, down, you stay down, stuff like that.
Cool. And they also have, we haven't mentioned that they have 3 different levels, right? Schutzhund 1, 2, and 3, which
right.
is
Yeah, and there's also multiple titles before getting into IPO or Schutzhund sport as well. There's the first title even to get in is called a Begleithund, and BH title, and that's basically in German it's a traffic steady companion dog title. It's more about it's on and off obedience and all this, but it shows that the dogs are very balanced in temperament and are good with people and dogs and traffic and bikes and joggers and all kinds of things like this, and they need to pass that to get into IPO sport, Breiten sport, agility sport in Germany. It's a lot of search and rescue dogs. A lot of these dogs have to do the BH to even get into most of these sports. And then beyond that, there's also obedience 1, 2, 3s, tracking 1, 2, 3s, protection 1, 2, 3s. There's a couple other levels, IPO A's and IPO OBAs and things like that go in between too. So there's quite a few titles that you can do on the way up to IPO sport. But then once we actually are talking about doing Schutzhund or IPO, there's 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3.
Right. Okay. And the tracking is incredible. this is like the dog. Check this out. They put this flag on the ground, and you don't even see where they're tracking, especially if it's in grass. And the judge tells you that this guy will be the judge. Tells you to bring the dog. You introduce your dog and yourself, and you're gonna have a 33-foot line, and the dog has to walk and follow a scent that somebody left. 2 hours ago?
Depends on the level.
No, like Schutzhund 3 is like
Schutzhund 3 is 1 hour.
1 hour?
But if we get up to FH2s, it's 3 hours.
Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, so around 1 to 3 hours, somebody will walk on a field and leave a track just by walking on and he's gonna make about 4